This is a tough game to kind of handicap here. What's your takeaway on this game? I mean, 12 and a half, my gosh. It's week 3. We're already dropping 12 and a half numbers.
Yeah, and I'll talk about some of that maybe here after we talk about the game. Just how great big favorites have been in the NFL going back to last year. So, but look at the Bills Dolphins Thursday night, Andy. Whenever I come on here or any show on the Wage Talk YouTube channel, for that matter, I always try to be as analytical as possible. But here, I have to say that this Dolphins Bills game Thursday night certainly has the feel of a situation where the Dolphins are going to get blown out in front of a national television audience and then fire head coach Mike McDaniel Friday morning. I get the teams that are 0-2 ATS and getting points in week 3 have traditionally been good bets. There's value there. The public is souring on these teams. But I got to say, I would need at least 14 here to be remotely interested in the Dolphins. We're not there yet, obviously. I don't know. I don't think we're going to get there. I'm also not one to lay double digits in the NFL, especially in a division game. So no play for me yet. You want to explore some options. There's probably a lot worse bets you could make on this game than Bills team total over 30.5. This is an offense that scored 41 and 30 in the first 2 games, and clearly they took their foot off the gas in the second half Sunday against the Jets, so they could have scored more than 30. The Bills could have. I have to admit, I fell for it. I took the Jets there in what seemed like it would be a flat spot for the Bills. The good news is, unlike Texans-Bucks last night, I did not really have to wait the full 3 hours to have my heart broken. I kind of knew about 10 minutes in that bet was DOA. Josh Allen and company, credit them. They came out and dominated from the start. The Jets looked much, much worse than they did in week 1. I don't think there's any reason to think that the Bills offense won't be humming here on Thursday night. They're facing a Dolphins defense that has just been absolutely abhorrent so far. They gave up 33 points and over 6 yards per play to the Patriots last week. The Patriots offense. This is a Dolphins defense that has allowed the opponent to score points each of the first 9 possessions this season. So the Bills are a dominant home team. They averaged over 33 points per game at home last year, put 41 up on the Ravens in that incredible comeback in week 1. So my initial thought, Andy, is Bills team total over 30.5. Is probably a pretty decent look, and it's probably going to be a pretty popular play, quite frankly.
Yeah, what that's a monster number. How often do you see a team total in the 30s in an NFL game? Absolutely wild.
I mean, sometimes you can't. Look, I come on here, I've been accused of being a contrarian at times, and I wear that. But, I mean, this is a situation where you can certainly see it, right? There's not a lot of evidence that points to the Miami defense keeping Buffalo in check in this game.
Yeah, you got Tyreek Hill throwing a fit in the middle of the game when the throw is over there. So,
and the Bills I believe the Bills have swept the Dolphins each of the last 3 years. I don't have it in front of me, but I think if I remember from breaking the game down, there's been one of those, like every year they blow them out once. Sometimes Miami can keep it close. Maybe it's at home. I think 2 of the 3 at home were close, but typically when Miami goes up to the Northeast, there they get they get it handed to them.
Let's move to MLB. Let's talk Yankees and the Twins. I've got a play in this one. I'm interested if you and I are on the same page. What's your breakdown on Yankees and Twins today?
Sure. Actually, can I do something, because I wrote something down, and I think it'll seem weird if I say it after about the NFL. I have a stat for you. Just as we try to digest what we've seen in the first 2 weeks of the NFL season, I just wanted to share this with people. Favorites of 4 or more are 12-0 straight up this season. So we're not seeing any upset, anything that would be considered a big upset. And you go back to last year, Andy, week 13 specifically, NFL favorites of 4 or more are 64-7 straight up. Faves of 6 or more, 47-4 straight up. Now, this is a betting show, obviously, and I can tell you the ATS record's very good. I mean, road favorite, the home dog, which for years was my hallmark. I loved taking those ugly home dogs that no one else wanted to touch. Well, those teams stink. Now, they never covered. They were 1-5 against the number last week. The only one that covered was the Bills. Or, pardon me, the Bills. The Bills were a home dog to the Browns. No. It was the Colts that were, or to the Jets. The Colts, and correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, I think the Colts closed as a pick'em at Circa. So you could make the argument they weren't even technically a home dog against the Broncos. So the home dog, where have you gone? We saw the Raiders last night not get it done. It's it's crazy just how favorites have ruled the day. Favorites against the spread last year had a historical performance in the NFL. So that is something that people need to take note of moving forward when they're betting the NFL. Not a bad investment would be $5 Tuesday, and it is great. I have a Major League Baseball play currently available for, yes, only $5. And I will be adding, as soon as I'm done here, so in a couple seconds, I'll be adding an NFL play for $5 as well. So there's 2 plays you can get today for $5. That NFL play you only be able to get that $5 price until midnight Pacific time. So act accordingly with that. We did win our 5%. It was not a good weekend in the NFL overall, just 1-3. We have to acknowledge that, but we did. The one winner was our first 5% of the season. Atlanta Falcons plus 3.5 took care of the Minnesota Vikings rather easily on Sunday night. And college football continues to be outstanding. 6-2 now the past 2 weekends, 3-1 each of the last 2 Saturdays. And, I know everyone was overjoyed with that 5% winner we had on the Falcons, the NFL, Andy. But my best bet in college football on Saturday was Vanderbilt against South Carolina. And on the Blitz, I shared this clip early on Saturday before that game kicked off, where I said South Carolina was the most overrated team in the country. And I looked pretty smart after that game was over, I think.
Well done. Well done. All right. Grab Bryan Power's $5 Tuesday package that is up at wagertalk.com. Bryan, thank you so much. Remind everybody about the Blitz. It's every Thursday at 1 o'clock.
Every
Eastern,
Thursday,
correct?
Immediately following you. And Ross, Benjamin, Ralph Michaels, and myself decided we liked each other so much that we are the permanent panel on the program every Thursday live at 1 p.m. Eastern. So check us out. Well, obviously, you're going to hear about the big games each and every week on the program. But the great part is any specific game that you guys want to know about, you'd like our take on, watch live. Ask us. We'll answer.